Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. This is Brownsugar Commentary, and I'm your girl, Kayla. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more videos. All right, let's get right into it. So today I wanted to talk about everything wrong with the new Netflix show called Bridgerton. All right, so to give y'all a quick synopsis of Bridgerton, let me tell y'all what it is. Bridgerton is an American streaming television period drama series created by Chris Van Dusen and produced by Shonda Rhimes. It is based on Julia Quinn's novel set in the competitive world of Regency London, high society's ton during the season, where debutantes are presented at court. Okay? And so when I first saw this show, I was kind of like, because I ain't seen no dark skinned women, and you should know by now watching my videos that I am the colorism police. I'm the representation police for dark skinned women. Like, I'm always seeing where the black girls are at. I'm always going to be seeing where the black girls are at, okay, when I'm watching a show. And from what I saw a lot of light-skinned or biracial women, and this is nothing new for Netflix, right? They always know, they always choose lighter-skinned or biracial women when it comes to, the black girls in a show. And then when it's the struggle shows or the social commentary, societal issue shows, they know right when to find us. And even in this show, most of the girls on here were, if I saw a dark-skinned girl, she was a servant or a background character with no speaking role whatsoever. So I wasn't too excited about it, but then again, we're in quarantine. The show came out, I think, around Christmas Day, I think is when it came out, or like the week of Christmas, something like that. And, a lot of people were talking about it on Twitter, and y'all know I be frequently on Twitter. And so everyone seemed to have, good, positive reviews of the show. And as I said about the description of the show, it's a Shonda Land production. And if you don't know who Shonda Rhimes is, okay, Shonda Rhimes made Grey's Anatomy. She made Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. Okay, so this is a woman who knows, how to make a good show. Now, I know it's not her show, but I mean, obviously, if she's backing it, it has to be something of quality. So I said, it's only 8 episodes long. Why not? Okay. So, but yeah, so I'll tell you first, I guess, what I like about the show. I mean, I like to be a good period piece. I'm an English major, so I read a good bit of Shakespeare. And so these type of things give me like that Shakespearean feel. This show reminds me of a show on ABC called Still Star Crossed. I tweeted about this if you haven't seen it, but I remember tweeting about it basically saying like this show, like I feel like if Still Star Crossed, came out on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, any of those streaming platforms, I definitely think it would have lasted longer. I think, because it was on ABC and it got a crappy time slot, that a lot of people were not watching it. And I also think, network television is definitely on the decline. So people ain't watching television as it is, at least the way we used to. So shows really don't be lasting, which is why I don't even give network television shows the time of day. But Still Star-Crossed is basically about what would happen with the Montagues and the Capulets after Romeo and Juliet's death. And there was a dark-skinned lead, unlike this show. But it was, like I said, I thought it was I really liked it. It was full of drama. It was real, zesty. But it got canceled literally after a couple of episodes because it wasn't getting enough viewership. Which sucks because, like I said, I feel like because people like Bridgerton so much, people would have definitely liked that show. But neither here nor there. But what I liked about it was, like I said, the drama was good. The chemistry between Simon and Daphne, I was like, they got AP chemistry, child. They got AP chemistry. They got chemistry 101, 102, 103, all of them. But they were like a cute little love story to follow. Definitely got steamy a couple of times. I was like, oh my Lord, this is something. But my favorite characters are Penelope, Marina, and Lady Danbury. For sure, those were the people that I kept paying attention to and watching every time they came on screen. I mean, everyone else, I ain't like Lady Featherington. She could catch this fade, all right? She could catch this fade, and Anthony could catch this fade. Everyone else, I like the girl he messed with. I think that little opera girl, she was pretty dope. But everyone else was either I felt indifferent to, or I felt nothing at all. But yeah. So that's what I like. I think, like I said, the story was good. It was like a typical romance type of show. I mean, I could definitely see the influence that it was based off of a romance novel. It kind of made me want to watch the book. I mean, watch the book. Read the book. Because it definitely looked like it's a juicy, like, you know, series to get into. It was definitely giving Gossip Girl, but like make it colonial. Like, so even though I never watched Gossip Girl, because why? No black people, but I get the general gist of that show. Um, so yeah, the whole Lady Whistle Down, you know, scandal, drama, whatever, is really interesting to me. Really funny, and the little revelation that's made at the end, is really, you know, I saw it coming though. I definitely called it, even though I was like, hearing of people who actually read the book saying that it might not be Penelope. I don't. Oh, if you haven't watched the show, there's a spoiler. Sorry. Um, so sorry about it. But okay, so that's what I like. Like I said, decent characters. It kept me invested for 8 episodes. And I like the fact that they use like classical renditions of modern day pop songs. Like on the first, I think it was the first episode, and I heard like "Thank You Next," and I was like, "Is that Thank You Next?" Like, and they have a couple of more songs, but that's the one I remember the most, and that was funny to me. But yeah, so that's what I liked about it, right? Decent show. I mean, I'm invested. I'm definitely looking forward to another season. So yeah. So let's get into what's wrong with it. I mean, I already kind of hinted at what my problem is for sure, is the fact that there are no dark-skinned women in the cast. Lady Danbury is the darkest woman on there. Other than that, everyone else is light-skinned or biracial. If not all of them being biracial, I'm not quite sure. I gotta do my research further to see who is what, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's just, I'm not here for that. Also, because Marina is the only woman of color in the cast, for her to be the one to get the pregnancy, like, scandal situation, like, that's trash to me. Like I said, I mean, it makes for a good drama and whatever for her character and the show overall, but it's really interesting how you know, the ethnic character has to have the whole pregnancy plot, and she, you know, she's hiding it from everyone and all of that stuff, because, you know, obviously back in these times, to be pregnant out of wedlock is a huge deal. So like, I got a side eye it, because I'm like, no, why couldn't Marina be a white girl then, like, or something else? Like, I mean, her, like I said, the actress did a great job. Like I said, Marina's my favorite character, but I feel like to give her the whole situation of like, oh, she's the pregnant one and she has to like finesse her way to try to get a husband so that she can whatever, like, it's whack. It's real whack to me. And then let's get into the character Will. So Will kind of has like a minor-ish, like he's on screen quite a bit, but he's not a main character. And he's Simon's friend, who they like, you know, they hang out, and he always like, every time I guess Will wants to blow off steam or whatever, he goes and like play boxes with him. But Will's actual profession is to be a boxer. And to me, that's like, because yes, like Simon also like engages in fighting, but it's almost different. Like even when him and like Will are doing it, it's kind of like playful, it's fun. I feel like it's just the opportunity to have his shirt off and make the girls lust over him even more. It's supposed to be seen as like sexy and whatever. And then when he actually engages in real fights, like fist fights with that one dude that Daphne's supposed to be married to, it's like we're rooting for him because that guy is a douchebag. And then when it's Anthony, you know, threw the first punch, so it's self-defense for Simon. So it's not viewed the same, at least it's for me. I don't look at it the same. But for Will, it's like, one, he's darker. Two, he's in a larger body than Will. And this is his literal profession, how he makes money, because also he comes from a lower class background compared to Simon, right? And so there's this scene where he gets into like, you know, the big fight towards the end of the season, and he forfeits the fight, but we all know he could have beat that dude's behind, okay? But he doesn't want to fight anymore, I don't think. But when I watched that scene, I like cringed, because it reminded me of, if you ever watched the James Brown biopic Get On Up, there's a scene in the beginning of the film where he's thinking about being a little kid again, and as a little kid, him and another little black boy were fighting. And all these white men were watching. Like, they put these two black kids to fight like against each other so they can like watch it for entertainment, and they're like placing bets, like a dog fight pretty much. And it reminded me of that. And while this show is kind of like Hamilton in the sense where like obviously if this was really real, these like black characters or black characters of colors, what have you, would not be in any of these roles because of slavery, imperialism. um but obviously it's fantasy, it's like not real, but that made it feel real because to see, like I said, this larger black guy, he brolic, he built like a football player, and he's fighting, and all these white men are like chanting and like egging him on. It's just like it doesn't look right. And then when we think about Simon's dad, who is also a darker skinned man, he is a douche, okay? He's a douche. He's a trash father. He pretty much um abandoned Simon as a kid, and his and even the way he treated like the mother, like from what Lady Danbury said in the show, that he also treated the mother wrong. Because if you were paying attention to the episode where where they show the flashback of when Simon was born, he didn't even really care about the wife like after labor. Like he just was all boasting and happy that she had a son. Like he didn't really care about her well-being. Like this woman really sat there and gave birth to your whole child. You're not going to check on her like, hey, thank you for giving birth to my son. Like he literally went, took the baby out her hand and went to go parade. He didn't even notice that she died. Like big trash. And then, like I said, because Simon had a speech impediment, he rejected him and then paid him absolutely no mind until his death, like the day he dies. And it's not a good look because it doesn't, like I said, there's a stereotype that goes around about the fact about how black fathers are relatively absent from their kids' lives. They're not good fathers, yada yada yada. And while there's like kids whose fathers have abandoned them, that's certainly not the case for all black kids. Not every black kids doesn't know their dad or has a bad relationship with their dad. Like that's not true for everyone, at least. So to have, like I said, this darker skinned man play Simon's father and be a trash dad, like it's like, of course, like it just gives like the absentee father thing. Will gives the very much stereotypical mandingo trope that a lot of darker skinned black men have. Being aggressive, being angry, being good at fighting, animalistic, type of thing. And then there's no other really darker skinned men in the main cast other than I think it's Simon's his like main advisor or servant or something like that. He's also darker skinned, as I observed. And so it's just like that's not a good look. Like it's just not. Like I said, I feel like it's strategic at this point that you would, choose darker skinned men and put them in those roles. And it's kind of like unfortunate, especially for Shonda as a woman, a black woman who is producing this show. Like you didn't look and see like, hey, this doesn't look too right. Like how much of a say does she really, I mean, she's a producer, like executive producer, I'm assuming. Like you should really, I'm pretty sure she has a good amount of say in who gets casted into what in this show. But then again, looking at Shonda's shows, she don't really have a lot of dark skinned men in her shows either. Because like I told you, like Grey's Anatomy, it's Jesse Williams. I mean, Richard is brown skinned, so I guess that's cool. And How to Get Away with Murder, it was Nate. And then Scandal, it was the Marcus guy. But it's just like all of them are on the, like I said, brown skin, light skin type of vibe. Not really much dark skinned men. Shonda like her a good squirrel handy. Like it's very rare to see two like black people together on a show. Like she'll put two white people together, but it's very rare to see two. Oh, I forgot about Bailey Husband. He's like the darkest man that's ever been on the Shonda Rhimes show. Like that has like a recurring role. Cause yeah, because I think either that or him and Nate are around the same complexion. The point I'm trying to make here, okay, is that she's not really known for putting a lot of dark-skinned people in her stuff. These are the facts. You can literally look at her shows and see who's in the main cast. Like, it is what it is. And like I said, I know it's not her show, but it is. She produces it, so like I said, she has a good amount of say into the type of men and their race and whatever. Like, And so you have to be really careful into what type of roles you're putting Black people in, because Hollywood is known for upholding certain stereotypes um, in their productions. And as I've said time and time and time again before, how a Black person is portrayed in a television show or movie or whatever is going to shape the perceptions of society. Yes, there are people who are racist and they're just always going to be racist and view Black people whatever the way they want to. But for Black people, it's not, like I said, it doesn't help our case if we're constantly seeing ourselves portrayed in a negative way on television. Like, that is just what it is. People want to see themselves portrayed accurately and positively on a show. Like, I just want to watch a show and be like, oh my God, look, that's an attractive Black man. That's an attractive Black woman. Look at them being attractive together. You know what I mean? Like, or doing fun things. Like, I don't want to sit there and watch a show where, I'm seeing a Black guy being fetishized, or, doing the whole like aggressive Black man thing. Like, we've seen it and it's tired and I'm over it. Like, it's 2021. It's time for us to do better. And you already know, with the no dark skinned women in the whole entire cast, it's ridiculous at this point. Like I said, Netflix is no stranger to this, and really Shonda's no stranger to it either, because once again, across her three shows, her three major shows, there's only really have been three dark skinned women in those shows, like Stephanie on Grey's Anatomy, and then Annalise Keating and Michaela. And Annalise Keating and Michaela come from the exact same show. Scandal had absolutely no dark skinned women in the main cast. And Stephanie was only on Grey's Anatomy like for a couple of seasons, and we all know how dirty she was done. Okay, but despite being one of my favorite characters on that show, but she really got nothing, and she ended up leaving after probably like 4 or 5 seasons. And the only, I guess, Bailey's brown skin and Maggie's brown skin. But Maggie's brown skin has very loose, big, curly hair, and that's something that we've seen before. Like I said, dark-skinned women are becoming literally extinct on television, both on streaming platforms as well as network television shows, and it's getting ridiculous. It's like, what did we ever do to y'all? Like, I'm tired of it, and it's just infuriating. So, of course, like I said, I'm always going to clock, where the Black dark-skinned girls at every single time I'm watching a show, because there's no excuse at this point. Like, there really is no excuse. And to have, like I said, a Black woman as your executive producer, and you don't even really have anyone her shade, because she's around, like, well, I guess she's lighter skin, but you can argue she's brown skin depending on your view of what light and dark, like, brown skin is. But, like, you should, it's no reason why there's like no dark skinned women at all. So hopefully in the next season I see, better portrayals of Black men, as well as besides Simon, and better portray, dark skinned women. I need a dark skinned girly. Can maybe one of the other kids fall in love with a dark skinned woman or something, or give somebody to do, like, and like, come on. No excuse. I mean, but overall, like I said, it's a good show. I'll probably watch it for another season. If they come out with another season, I'm pretty sure they will. The show is pretty popular. But that is my big issue. You got to be real careful on how you portray Black characters, because it could easily come across as colorist or racist, even if that wasn't your intent, given the type of racial world we live in, all right? And I'm going to clock it every time, period. But yeah, if you watch Bridgerton, let me know what you guys think about the show. What do you think about the characters of color on the show? Do who are your favorites? What do you want to see in the next season? Let's just talk all things Bridgerton down in the comments. Let's have a conversation. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll definitely see y'all in my next video. Peace out.